Welcome to another episode of my Author Diaries. And today I really just want to yap about what I would do differently going into my next novel. Now, I feel like I've been extremely lucky with my first novel in that it's doing pretty well. I personally just feel like there's some things that I could do better. One being the spice level. Now, it's always hard for me to decide like how much spice I'm going to put into a novel because I personally read a wide range of spicy novels. For example, I have books like Demon's Dream. I hope y'all can see this book right here. I mean, it's spicy. It's definitely spicier than Real by Kennedy Ryan. And neither of these books come anywhere close to the spice level that's in Product of the Streets by E. Bowser. And because of that, I found it very hard for me to figure out what kind of spice I wanted to include in my debut romance novel. And so, in earlier drafts of that novel, I definitely had like some scenes that probably bordered on smut, but I think when I got my like alpha reading done, I severely toned down those scenes based off the feedback that I'd gotten. But then I'm realizing I really only had like one or two people read those scenes, which are like very tame, very mild. And it shows in the reviews that I've gotten for the novel. Like when people think about what is the spice novel for Loved by You, it's definitely giving Two Chili Peppers. And I don't know, like I want to unleash, I want to not put any constraints on myself, which is the second thing that I've learned from going through this entire process. I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to feel like I have to fit within a box or a mold for the story that I'm trying to tell. And I think that's going to allow me to be my most authentic self. When I think about the stories that I want to write, overall, I wrote a novel just to see if I could do it. And I did it. And now I just feel like there's so much more that I could do with the stories that I'm telling. And part of my experiment is to kind of like test the waters of the readers that I have so far. Is my novella that I'm currently working on, of which I have all of the spicy scenes to add, because I'm going to be completely transparent with you all. It is very daunting for me to write those scenes because I know how people are about their spicy scenes. Honestly, I want people to make posts about like, oh, this scene, this moment in the chapter had me like hot and bothered. I mean, who wouldn't want that as a writer? And because I am a reader and I'm okay reading that level of spice, I feel like I should allow myself to put that into my work without wondering what are other people going to say. Now, with all that being said, I am very worried at what people are going to see when they read the spice scenes in my upcoming novella, because as I stated in the previous vlog, the novella centers the parents of most of the friend group. And so it's kind of like reading about your parents having sexual relations with each other. I know. I know that's so I don't even know why I'm laughing about that, because like we had to get here some kind of way, right? But that's like the kind of vibe that it's giving. And I just hope people are going to be okay reading about that. But I feel like the overall story that's being told is so integral to like where I'm going in the series novel that they won't mind. Y'all won't mind. I hope not. But that's what I have going on. I'm really enjoying doing these author diaries because I don't have like a close-knit writing community where like there are some people I can probably like text and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about this novel. But it's a me thing. I always am nervous about bothering people. I don't want to feel like I'm bothering people, which is the next thing I would do differently this time around. Like, I want to get comfortable with asking people can they read something that I'm working on to like get their opinion without feeling like I'm a burden on them, which is just how I have personally felt in my own life growing up. I've just been taught never to ask for help. That's a little teaser for one of the books coming up, by the way. So, yeah, I want to have like somewhat of a writing community. Like, I want to connect with other authors and I want to get to the point where I can just like send them a message and say, like, hey, if you have time, can you look at XYZ that I'm trying to write? Because that community is so important, and especially now that I'm like entering this space and I'm meeting other authors and I'm engaging with readers, I understand how it's not even from like a marketing standpoint, just like being able to tell somebody I feel like I'm about to scrap this whole novel and throw the whole thing away would be so important, so you can have somebody talk you down off of a ledge because they understand, and they probably have moments where they think that they want to, destroy their own novel as well. So that is another thing that I am trying to do differently this time around. Before this diary entry, I think the last thing that I want to talk about in terms of what I would do differently moving forward, just like keep reminding myself that yes, I'm trying to make this my full-time job and my career. I need to remind myself of the joy, the fun that I have in this process. I think after I put out my last novel, like I have just an extensive catalog, but my debut novel, I think I became so consumed with like marketing, being on social media, looking at the reviews, looking at the analytics on KDP and the pages read, and just all the numbers associated with everything, that I honestly lost the joy that I had when writing that first novel. And I think moving forward, I just hope that I'm able to ground myself in like the fun. And when I say fun, like the enjoyment of bringing a story to life, bringing characters to life that don't exist. Because this past weekend, like I worked on my novella and it was so much fun. Like I smiled, I laughed, my heartstrings were tugged at. Like it was just such a good feeling working on that. And like it hasn't even gone out to people yet. It hasn't even been professionally edited yet. But it was just so much fun telling a story, and I lost that for like 2 months. So like December, January, I had none of that. And so I'm learning how to like balance the business side of things with just the passion that I have for writing and bringing a story to life. And so that's what I'm going to continue talking about in these author diaries. I hope that y'all liked this entry. I know it was very yappy, very like unconventional. I just felt it. I felt it on my chest to come and talk about this with y'all today. It's just so you can get inside of my mind. Um, and it's also very therapeutic for me. So, if you are not subscribed already, make sure you're subscribed, because I think I'm nearing the point when I can start sharing some teasers and tidbits and things like that for future writing projects. And then let me know in the comments, what's your spice level, or what's your like spice rating scale? I'm trying to see something. But until next time, bye.